Growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends, and I don't think it helped that I played the flute. Kids would make fun of me about that, and I'm like, laugh now. You won't be laughing once I get good enough to control snakes. So, after a couple of years, after my flute career wasn't really taking off, I decided to move up to LA and try to do some acting, and I got a meeting with an agent, and he signed me for commercial work. And I got so excited that I went out and I bought the cheapest bottle of vodka I could find and got really smashed that night. And I wake up the next morning from a call from him, and he goes, "Hey, I got an audition for you. Can you make it in 30 minutes?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." So I jumped in my car and I drove. I go up the stairs, I open the door, and every door looks the same. And I'm looking around and I'm sweating and I'm like, okay, where do I go? And I asked this guy, I go, hey, what do I do? I'm here for an audition. And he goes, oh, just sign up right there. So I signed my name down on the sign-up sheet. And then 10 minutes later, the casting director comes out and he looks at the sheet and he goes, Stephen Briggs. And I go, that's me. And I run inside and I'm super excited and I'm sweating and I look terrible. And he goes, okay, what you're going to do is just say your name and then you're just going to start saying these lines. So I'm like, all right, hi, my name is, and I throw up everywhere. Yeah, I know, right? But here's the thing, there's one thing my parents instilled in me, it's to be not a quitter. So I popped back up and I was like, Stephen Briggs. And I just started saying the lines really quick. And he goes, what are you doing? And I go, I'm saying the lines. And he goes, no, that's not what you're doing. You're cleaning this shit up. That's what you're doing. So I went out and I had to get a bunch of paper napkins and I clean it up. And then I look at him and I go, hey, could we start over on this again? Could we try this again? And he goes, no, you're going to get the hell out of here. That's what you're going to do. And I walk outside and I'm just super embarrassed and I'm like about to cry. And so, some guy walks up to me and he goes, hey man, are you okay? And I go, I just walked into this ESPN commercial and I just threw up inside and I ruined it. And he goes, ESPN? That's 2 doors down that way. And I ended up walking in there and booking it. It was like, oh, this is how I have to do it every time. Just get drunk and throw up. And so the commercial started airing, and I started getting all these people that in high school that would never talk to me, messaging me and saying hi to me. And one of the people that messaged me was this girl that I fell in love with named Julia. She was my neighbor, and she would never give me the time of day. And she hit me up, and she's like, hey, I saw you on that commercial. We should totally hang out sometime. And I text her back. I'm like, and I was like, yeah, totally. We should hang out sometime. Oh, my gosh. And she's like, when are you in San Diego next? And I'm like, I'm in San Diego right now. I lied. I was in L.A., but I drove down there. And I wore my Sunday's best. I get to her door, and I knock on it. She opens it. She's as beautiful as ever, and she invites me inside, and I sit down with her, and my young self, I can't even control myself anymore. After 15 minutes, I go to kiss her, and she goes, no, Steven, okay? I am not going to just kiss you the first time we hang out, but if you want, we can do drugs. And I was like, okay, what drugs you want to do? And she's like, we're going to smoke DMT. Yeah. If you don't know what DMT is, don't find out. It's 10 times stronger than acid. It shoots you off into this alternative universe. And she looks at me and she goes, well, you've done this before, right? And I looked at her and I don't know why this came out of my mouth, but I was like, every weekend. So she hands me the pipe, and she goes, okay, go ahead. You can hit it first. So I go, and I try to light it like weed at the top, but with DMT, you're supposed to light it at the bottom, so I just burn everything inside. And she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, smoke it like you're smoking crack. Now I know this woman has smoked crack. And I'm like, I just want to go home. But part of me was like a female in a relationship. I was like, maybe I can change her. So she hands me the pipe again. She goes, make sure you twist the pipe when you're lighting it. So I'm twisting, I'm lighting, I'm twisting, I'm lighting it. And I see the smoke start to build, and then it feels like I'm shot out of this rocket, just. And this ambiance music starts playing. And as I walk, I see this creature. And it makes this noise. Yeah! And it's this mutated green creature turned to its side, stirring a big pot with a bone, and a heart's being held above it with chains. And it looks up at me, and I look at it, and I go, whose heart is that? And it goes,
well, yours, of course.
And I knew the creature wasn't lying because I got nervous and the heart started to beat faster. And I was like, whose bone is that? And it goes,
well, why don't you look down and see for yourself?
and I look down and my freaking leg is missing and I'm like, ah! And I fall backwards. I'm like, ah! And this creature's bouncing up and down going, ah, 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 ah. And I come out of the high because it only lasts for 15 minutes and this girl's riding me going, ah, 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 ah. After we were done, she looks at me and she's stroking my face. This girl that I've always been in love with. And she's playing my hair and my ear. And she goes, that was so amazing. Oh my God, we're soulmates. And I was like, from what I just saw, you have no soul. And I ran the hell out of there. Thank you guys very much. Stephen Briggs.